Hi there and welcome again to my channel. This is Ashley coming to you to talk about my March book haul. I never thought I would do a book haul video, but I just turned 27, so I kind of got spoiled a little bit this month and figured, why not? Let's try a book haul. So the first book that I spoiled myself with for my birthday, I bought myself 15 books and my boyfriend bought me one. So, not bad, not terribly bad. And so the first one I bought was We Should All Be Feminist by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. I did watch a video on how to say her name because I did not want to screw it up. Because I'm really bad at that. Because, you know, when people mispronounce words, sometimes it's because they only encountered that word while they were reading. And, yeah. So this book is about feminism, and that's one of my favorite things, and so I wanted to read this book. So I got this one, and that's it. Alright, next one. The next one is It Can't Happen Here by Sinclair Lewis. I bought this because I've been reading a lot of books about American politics and social political things and social issues, and this was actually recommended to me on Amazon based on all of the other books that I've been buying, based on those things, and so that's it. That's why I bought this one. Let's see, it's a cautionary tale about the fragility of democracy. Good enough for me. The next book I bought is actually the second book in a series. It's kind of frustrated me because I had the first book. I've had it since I was a preteen, and it has a very specific cover. And when I found this book and I put it in my cart, it had the cover to match the book that I already owned. But when I got it in the mail on Saturday, it did not match. But it's Valiant by Holly Black. It's about fae and fairies and the underworld, kind of gruesome, bloody mess of the fae world. It's awesome. The next is A Little Princess. I love this movie. I love The Secret Garden. I've never read the book. I needed to read the book, so here it is. The next is a book that I'm really, really excited to read. It's Evicted. It talks about poverty in America, and I can't wait to read it. It's one of my social issue books that I got. It says in here that the author follows 8 families in Milwaukee as they each struggle to keep a roof over their heads. And I can totally relate to that because, you know, my family struggled a lot with poverty and I was actually homeless for a little bit, so very interesting for me. The next book is Where Am I Now by Mara Wilson. You may recognize her from Matilda, Mrs. Doubtfire, etc., etc. And she grew up, obviously, because that's what people do, and she became this really kick-ass, you know, awesome feminist woman who really stands up for all of these things. And so she just talks about her life growing up, since, you know, she was a child star, and on the back it has a picture of her now, and kind of, you know, same blue dress with flowers, and she has red shoes on instead of a bow, and I'm really excited to read this because I really like her, and I follow her on Twitter, and so, you know, that's why I bought that one. Next up is The Future for Curious People. I put this in my cart on Book Outlet because they were having a 50% off of 50 green books in celebration of St. Patrick's Day, and I had a bunch in my cart when the sale was going on, but I didn't really want any of them. But when the sale was over, this one kind of stuck around and I purchased it because it was still really on sale. And it's about a young librarian and technology and love, and it's supposed to be quirky and twisty, and it's like, those are a lot of things that describe me, so I'm gonna buy this one. I think it may have cost me $2, so nothing wrong with that. Next up is are some Jane Austen books. I'm a huge Jane Austen nerd. I have so many. I have all of her books, plus, you know, a biography or two, plus a bunch of spin-off books because I love the Jane Austen world, and I've been buying a lot of spin-off books lately. I have a bunch up here already and a bunch up there that I've already read. This is my to-be-read shelf, and this one up here is the one that was going to be read more immediately. As you can see, it's falling over because most of the books are sitting on the floor next to me. So the first Jane Austen one that I bought, I actually just watched the whole mini-series on Netflix, and I loved it so much, and I really wanted more, so I was like, I'm just going to buy the book because I bet there's more stuff in there. And that's Death Comes to Pemberton, and it has Anna Martin and, what's his name? I forget his name, but he's in The Americans, and I really like them both, and I loved their portrayal of Darcy and Elizabeth in the show. It was great. If you haven't watched it yet, go watch it. It's amazing. I loved it. I read it. I watched it all in one day. It was so good. The next is Confessions of a Jane Austen Addict. This is the first book in a series of, I think, just 2 or 3 books, and I have the second one already. I didn't realize it was a series, so then I was like, oh, I gotta get the first one before I can read the second one. And then we have Austenland. I think this was a show or a movie, and I may have watched this or seen it, I'm not sure, but it's an Austen book, and it was on my to-buy shelf on my Goodreads, so I bought it. Next up is Eat, Pray, Love Made Me Do It. This was actually referred to me by a friend of mine named Emily. She read this book and she loved it. She said it really, you know, kind of changed her more than the actual book did, so I was like, I'm gonna buy that, and it was really cheap on Book Outlet, and so I added it to my cart, and here it is. Next up is Instructions for the End of the World. I know this is a relatively new book, I think. I'm not really sure how it got in my cart. Oh no, December 2015. I'm not sure how it got in my cart, but it did. I guess I must have liked the synopsis, and it was pretty inexpensive, so I bought it, and it's actually a hardback book, which is cool because most of the other books that I got from Book Outlet were all paperback. I received Word by Word from Tim, my boyfriend, for my birthday, and it made me cry because it's actually a really nerdy book, and he found it all on his own, and I was really proud of him for getting me a book that, you know, was so sentimental and made me cry because he knows I love words and I'm really nerdy. And the author, Corey Stamper, is actually a lexiconographer. She deals with words, and she, you know, used to work, or does still work for Merriam-Webster, and she helps write the definitions of words in dictionaries. So that's pretty cool. And she talks about words and, you know, how they develop, and it says right here how it can take 9 months to define a single word, and just how words have a tremendous social influence. And so I'm really excited to read this one. What's next? Station 11. This has actually been on my, you know, read this book list for a while. It came to my attention last year, I think, during a book swap with the Novelty Book Club. The woman that I was, you know, in the swap with, she said that she really loved this book, and I kind of based the book that I got her off of this, and so this is on my list. I think it's like a dystopian kind of book. I'm not really sure, but it's been recommended to me so many times. Everybody talks about it and really likes it, so I got it. Yeah! Next is How to Build a Girl by Caitlin Moran. I actually have her How to Be a Woman book up there on my shelf, and I was like, oh, I should, you know, read where she started and then see where she gets to, and add this to my feminism kind of social issues pile of books that I own. And last but not least is Hard Choices by Hillary Rodham Clinton. It's like way thicker than I expected it to be, but it was really inexpensive on Book Outlet, and I kind of just wanted to get more into the mind of Clinton and kind of see, you know, just more information about her and kind of her life. I don't know, I'm not sure why I bought it, but it kind of just was like, hey, buy that book. I think there was a sale on Book Outlet and it just like ended up in my cart, and I didn't buy it then, but then I bought it for myself for my birthday. So yeah, that's it. Those are the books that I got for my birthday month, and I know March isn't over yet, but I'm back on my book buying bin and I don't plan on buying any more books, so there you go. Thanks for watching. Now I have to go put my to-read shelf back together. Bye.